All right, let's jump right in. We're looking at a pretty extraordinary claim today. The idea that Bitcoin is mathematically destined to hit $1 million.
That's the one. And this isn't just speculation. It's based on something called the Bitcoin Power Law Theory, or
Mhm.
PLT. It was developed by an astrophysicist, Giovanni Santostasi.
An astrophysicist. Okay.
Yeah, and our whole deep dive today comes from a great breakdown of it by Maxi Anisimov over on bytework.com.
Okay, so let's try to unpack this for someone who's interested in tech, but maybe not a mathematician. The basic idea is that Bitcoin doesn't act like a normal stock.
Not at all. Santostasi argues it's more like a natural phenomenon. Think about the growth of cities or even a living organism.
Yeah.
It follows these universal power laws.
Right, and the proof for that is in the chart.
Exactly. When you plot Bitcoin's price on a logarithmic scale,
Mm.
which basically just helps visualize huge changes over time, that crazy volatile line suddenly becomes, well, almost a perfectly straight line.
Oh, straight line.
And that model, that straight line, accounts for something like 92% of all the price changes in Bitcoin's history. It's an incredibly tight fit.
Wait, hold on. If it's so predictable, what about the crashes? I mean, we've all seen those massive 80% drops. That doesn't sound very self-correcting.
But that's just it. The theory says those crashes are part of the system. It's the organism analogy. It has built-in growth drivers that pull it back. The main one is mining difficulty.
Okay, how does that work?
Well, when the price crashes, mining isn't as profitable, right? So some miners shut down. The network automatically makes it easier for the remaining miners to operate, which eases the selling pressure. It's like an anti-bubble mechanism that always pulls the price back to that straight line of fair value.
I see. So the crashes are actually a feature, not a bug. Which, I guess, leads us to the big question. If the trajectory is so clear, what's the forecast?
This is where it gets really interesting. The model projects, and quite strongly, that Bitcoin could reach $1 million around the year 2033.
$1 million. Wow. And I read that the high-end predictions are even crazier.
They are. Santostasi says that if just a small fraction of the world's population adopts it, the price could eventually be pushed up to 10 million.
10 million. Okay, let's bring that back down to earth for a second. To ground this in today, what does the model say the price should be right now?
So for today, December 26th, 2025, the PLT formula calculates the fair price at $128,400.
128,000. So it gives you a target to aim for, ignoring the daily noise.
That's the idea.
But, I mean, if the math is this good, why isn't everyone just calling this a scientific law? There has to be some pushback.
Oh, absolutely. The main criticism is that this is just clever chart manipulation, that you're just drawing a line through past data, you're fitting the curve after the fact.
Right.
And the bigger issue critics point to is what the model leaves out. It only looks at price and time. It completely ignores things like demand, supply, major economic events.
Exactly. It's missing the human element. What happens if a major country bans crypto? Or what if some new, better technology comes along and just replaces Bitcoin? The model can't predict these black swan events.
It can't. And that's why we have to be careful. It's a powerful model, a theory. It gives us probabilities. But calling it a law is probably a step too far because those outside factors could, completely break it.
Still, I find the whole reframing of it fascinating. The big takeaway here seems to be that the PLT sees Bitcoin not as some random asset, but as this self-governing economic system.
Yeah, where stability is actually part of its design. It's not just luck.
And that makes me wonder, if Santostasi is right that time for Bitcoin slows down as it grows, does that mean hitting that $1 million target just requires patience, not some huge radical change in the world? Something to think about. We hope this deep dive gave you something to chew on.
Ecco,